Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. One moment, you're sitting in a high school classroom, surrounded by familiar faces, chasing marks on a test paper, and the next moment you're standing at the gates of a university, staring into a future that feels both exciting and terrifying. My journey from high school to university was not just about changing schools, it was about stepping into an entirely different world, a world I had only imagined in my dreams. Turn the page with me. Subscribe, like, and comment to keep the journey going.
When I received my matric results in January, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. I remember the morning so clearly. The sun was shining, the air was warm, and my heart was racing as I walked toward my school. My family had insisted on coming with me to collect my statement, and I could see the pride in their eyes even before I held the paper in my hand. The moment I unfolded the results sheet and saw the words in front of me, I felt a rush of joy I can't even put into words. I had passed well, not just in one subject, but across the board. My parents hugged me tightly, my younger cousins cheered, and I could feel the weight of all their hopes and prayers resting proudly on my shoulders. For them, my success was not just my own, it was a family victory. At school, I met my close friends, the same people I had studied with late into the night, the ones I had shared notes and dreams with. We laughed, hugged, and congratulated each other, because we had all passed. Some of us had distinctions, some had improved so much from the previous year, but what mattered most was that we had all made it. For a while, we stood in a circle outside the school, imagining what life would be like once we got offers from the universities we had applied to. That was the beginning of our new journey. A few weeks later, the offers started coming in. I still remember the moment I opened mine. It was for law. My heart almost stopped. I had dreamed about becoming a lawyer since I was a child. I used to imagine myself standing confidently in a courtroom, speaking with authority, defending the truth. That dream was now becoming a reality. I immediately grabbed my phone and opened our WhatsApp group to share the news. "Guys, I got accepted for law." I typed, and within seconds, the group was buzzing with messages. My friends also shared their news. One of them had been accepted into nursing, and 2 others got into social work. We celebrated together virtually, but deep inside, I already knew that this was the start of a new kind of separation. Except for the 2 who had chosen the same path in social work, the rest of us were destined for different universities, different towns, and different lives. When registration day came, everything seemed smooth at first. I submitted my documents, got my student card, and felt a sense of belonging. But there was one detail that caught me off guard. I was placed in a residence far from campus. It meant that every day, I would need to take a bus to attend lectures. At the time, I didn't fully understand what that would mean for me. I was just too excited. Saying goodbye to my family was harder than I expected. The night before, I packed my clothes carefully, folding each shirt as if it carried a memory of home. My mother kept coming into my room to check if I had everything: blankets, toiletries, pots for cooking. My uncle volunteered to take me to the taxi the next morning. When the day came, I hugged my parents tightly, and even though they smiled, I could see tears in their eyes. The taxi arrived earlier than I expected. I climbed in, greeted the driver, and waved at my family as the vehicle pulled away. My stomach was a mixture of nerves and excitement. I leaned back against the seat and allowed my mind to drift. All the way to town, I imagined what university life would be like. I remembered one of my teachers telling us that in university, no one forces you to follow the rules, you make your own. He had said, you can even walk out of class while the lecturer is still teaching, and nobody will stop you. That idea stuck in my head. I imagined freedom, independence, and a kind of life where no one told you what to do. Others had said that students would be given laptops for studying. In my imagination, I thought maybe exercise books wouldn't even exist anymore. Why write in a book, I thought, if we all have laptops? I pictured myself sitting under a tree, typing assignments like some movie character. I even believed that maybe there wouldn't be tests, only lectures where the work was given to us already prepared. To me, university seemed like paradise. And then, of course, I thought about girls. I laughed quietly to myself in the taxi as I imagined how many girlfriends I might get, or how different it would be from high school. I was in my own world, building castles in the air, while the taxi rolled steadily toward my new life. After a few hours, we reached the town. I got off and began to look for another taxi that could take me to campus. That's when I noticed how different everything was compared to home. Even the way taxis operated here was new to me. Back in my hometown, we paid the driver after reaching our destination. But here, passengers handed their money before the journey even started. It seemed like such a small difference, but for me, it was the first sign that this was a whole new world with rules I still had to learn. Finally, I arrived at campus. The first thing I noticed was the crowd at the gate, students everywhere, some sitting on their bags, some standing in groups, others just staring around like me, confused and uncertain. I didn't know where to go, and for a moment, I felt lost. Then I saw a security guard nearby. I walked up to him and asked politely, "Excuse me, do you know where the residence I've been allocated to is?" He shook his head and said, "You should ask the student commanders. They're the ones helping new students today." So, I approached one of the student commanders, a tall guy wearing a brightly colored t-shirt that had the university logo on it. I asked him about my residence. He laughed a little and said, "Your res. Ish, my brother, it's far. You'll need to take a taxi back near town. It's not here on campus." My heart sank. I had just used some of my grocery money to get here, and now I had to spend more on another trip. But I didn't have a choice. The student commander noticed my worried face. "Don't stress," he said, "do you have a smartphone?" "Yes," I replied, handing it to him. He quickly downloaded a cab-hailing app for me and explained how it worked. "Just request here, put in your address, and the car will come for you. Do you have cash?" "Luckily, yes," I nodded. "Good. Then you're sorted." The app said the cab would arrive in 20 minutes. As I stood waiting at the gate, that's when I saw a girl. She was standing not far from me, a girl with curly hair and the kind of smile that could stop time. For a moment, I forgot my disappointment about the residence. Gathering some courage, I walked up to her. "Hi," I said, my voice trying to sound casual. "Hi," she replied warmly, her eyes meeting mine. I felt my face grow hot. I quickly added, "So, why are you waiting here?" She sighed a little. "I couldn't register online. There were some problems I didn't understand. I had to come here in person." I nodded. "Yeah, this whole process is confusing. I just found out my residence is not even on campus." That made her laugh lightly. We started chatting more, about high school, about what we thought university life would be like. With every word she said, I found myself drawn to her. She wasn't just beautiful, she was kind and easy to talk to. I was just about to ask for her number when the cab pulled up. The driver leaned out the window and shouted impatiently, "Hurry up, I don't have all day." Startled, I turned back to the girl. "I have to go," I said quickly. "Maybe I'll see you around campus." "Maybe," she replied with a smile. I wanted so badly to ask for her number, but the hooting from the driver made me rush. I ran toward the car, climbed in, and before I knew it, the cab was pulling away. As the buildings blurred past, I sat back in frustration. Why didn't I just ask? I muttered to myself. For a while, I felt angry at my own hesitation. But then I calmed down, telling myself that the campus was big, yes, but not big enough to hide her forever. "I'll see her again," I whispered, holding on to the thought like a promise. And so, my life in university began, not in the classrooms, not in the lecture halls, but in the confusion of taxis, the nervous excitement of goodbyes, and the unexpected smile of a stranger who made me believe that maybe this new world was going to be even more interesting than I had imagined.